Are you finding that your legs feel heavy like lead when you walk, or do you feel a sudden wave of dizziness when you stand up too quickly? Have you noticed that you are making excuses to stay home because you just do not trust your balance anymore? Falling is not a natural part of getting older, but it is a sign that your body is crying out for better support. If you are over the age of 60, these changes can feel incredibly discouraging and even scary. Every year, millions of older adults lose their independence because they believe the lie that weakness is inevitable. But today I am here to tell you that your body is much more resilient than you have been led to believe. You can reclaim your strength and your confidence without a cabinet full of pills. Before we dive into the natural solutions that can transform your mobility, please take a moment to subscribe to Seniors Healthy Living. We are dedicated to helping you thrive in your golden years with grace and power. I am Dr. Robert, and for over 30 years I have worked with thousands of seniors who wanted to keep their freedom. I have seen people who could barely walk to their mailbox transform into active grandparents who hike with their grandkids. The secret is not a miracle drug. It is the combination of smart medical care and simple daily habits that nourish the body from the inside out. One of the most powerful and overlooked habits is the simple act of drinking the right kind of tea. In our modern world, we often look for the most complicated solution to our health problems. We think that if a problem is big, then the solution must be expensive or difficult. But nature has provided us with extraordinary tools that have been used for thousands of years to keep the human body strong. Weak legs and fading balance are often the result of a condition called sarcopenia. This is the gradual loss of muscle mass that often begins to accelerate once we pass the age of 50 or 60. When your muscles shrink, they lose their ability to support your joints. This leads to that feeling of instability that makes you reach for the furniture as you walk across the room. It also makes you feel exhausted because your smaller muscles have to work twice as hard to move your body. But sarcopenia is not a life sentence. Your muscles are like a garden. If you give them the right nutrients and the right environment, they will grow and stay firm. Let us think about a patient of mine named George. George was a retired carpenter who loved spending time in his workshop. But by the time he turned 65, his legs felt so weak that he was afraid to stand for more than 10 minutes. He thought his days of building birdhouses were over. He was told by others that this was just what happens when you get old. But George refused to accept that. We started by looking at his circulation and inflammation levels. When we improved his daily habits and introduced specific herbal teas, he found that the heaviness in his legs began to lift. Within 2 months, he was back in his workshop. George did not need a miracle. He needed to understand how to support his body. The reality is that after 60, your body faces three main enemies: inflammation, poor circulation, and chronic fatigue. These three issues work together to tear down your strength. Inflammation makes your joints stiff and your muscles sore. Poor circulation means your legs are starved of the oxygen and nutrients they need to function. And fatigue makes it impossible to find the motivation to exercise. If we can address these three factors, we can stop the decline and start the rebuilding process. Today I want to share 3 specific teas that target these issues directly. These are not passing trends. They are backed by rigorous modern science and centuries of traditional wisdom. When you incorporate these into your daily routine, you are giving your body a fighting chance to stay youthful and strong. The first tea that can truly change the way your legs feel is a blend of ginger and turmeric. Most people think of these as just spices for a curry or a stir-fry, but they are actually some of the most potent medicines found in nature. When you combine them into a warm tea, they create a powerful remedy that targets the very root of muscle weakness and joint pain. To understand why this works so well, we have to look at what happens to your blood vessels as you age. Over time, our circulation can become sluggish. The blood vessels lose some of their elasticity, and it becomes harder for the heart to pump blood all the way down to the tips of our toes. This is why many seniors suffer from cold feet, leg cramps, and a feeling of heaviness. Ginger is a natural vasodilator. This means it helps the blood vessels relax and open up. Think of it like widening a narrow road so that more cars can pass through easily. When your blood vessels are open, more oxygen and nutrients can reach your leg muscles. This is vital because your muscles cannot contract or stay strong without a constant supply of fuel. When my patient Sarah started drinking ginger tea every morning, she noticed a difference in just 10 days. She said her legs no longer felt like they were made of stone when she tried to go for her morning walk. By simply improving her blood flow, she gave her muscles the energy they were missing. But ginger is only half of the story. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, which is perhaps the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory agent we know of. In the medical world, we are learning more every day about something called inflammaging. This is a state of chronic low-grade inflammation that happens as we age. It acts like a slow fire inside your body that gradually damages your muscle fibers and wears down your joints. This inflammation is often the reason why you feel stiff when you first wake up in the morning. If you do not put out this fire, your muscles will continue to break down faster than your body can repair them. Curcumin works by blocking the enzymes and molecules that trigger inflammation. By calming this internal fire, turmeric allows your body to focus on repair instead of just trying to survive the damage. However, there is a very important secret to making turmeric work. Most people drink turmeric tea and feel no benefit because curcumin is not easily absorbed by the body on its own. To unlock the power of turmeric, you must add a tiny pinch of black pepper to your tea. The piperine in black pepper increases the absorption of curcumin by as much as 2,000%. It acts like a key that opens the door for the medicine to enter your bloodstream. Imagine your leg muscles are like a team of workers. If the road is blocked, they cannot get the supplies they need to do their job. That is poor circulation. If there is a fire at the construction site, they are too busy fighting the fire to build anything. That is inflammation. Ginger clears the road and turmeric puts out the fire. Together, they create the perfect environment for your legs to regain their strength. Many people find that drinking this tea in the afternoon helps reduce the swelling and aching that often happens after a long day on their feet. The preparation is very simple, but it requires a bit of mindfulness. If you can find fresh ginger and fresh turmeric root, that is always best because the oils are more potent. You simply grate about 1 inch of each root into a pot of water and let it simmer gently for about 10 minutes. If you only have powders, that is fine too. Just use half a teaspoon of each. Remember that pinch of black pepper and perhaps a squeeze of lemon to help with the flavor. Lemon also provides vitamin C, which is another important building block for the collagen in your joints. As you sip this tea, imagine the warmth spreading down through your hips and into your knees and ankles. You are literally feeding your legs the medicine they need to keep you moving. Now let us talk about the second major hurdle for seniors, which is the feeling of constant fatigue. I hear this from almost every patient over 70. They say they have the desire to be active, but they simply run out of gas by noon. This lack of energy is not just in your head. It is happening at a cellular level. Inside every cell in your body, there are tiny power plants called mitochondria. These mitochondria take the food you eat and the oxygen you breathe and turn them into energy. As we age, these power plants can become less efficient. They start to leak energy and produce less power. This is why you might feel drained even if you have had a full night of sleep. The solution to this cellular exhaustion can be found in a blend of ginseng and green tea. This is a combination that provides a steady, clean energy without the jitters or the crash that you get from drinking too much coffee. Green tea is famous for its high concentration of antioxidants called catechins. These antioxidants act like a shield for your cells, protecting them from the oxidative stress that accelerates aging. But green tea also contains a unique amino acid called L-theanine. This substance promotes relaxation without making you sleepy. When combined with the small amount of natural caffeine in green tea, it creates a state of calm alertness. This is perfect for seniors who want to stay active but do not want the heart palpitations that sometimes come with strong stimulants. Ginseng is the true star of this blend when it comes to physical endurance. In the world of herbal medicine, ginseng is known as an adaptogen. This means it helps your body adapt to physical and mental stress. Research has shown that the compounds in ginseng called ginsenosides actually help your mitochondria work more efficiently. It is like giving those tiny power plants a tune-up so they can produce more energy with less waste. For an older adult, this means your muscles can work longer before they start to feel that burning sensation of fatigue. I remember a patient named Robert who was struggling with his balance because he was simply too tired to focus on his footing. He felt like he was walking through water every day. We introduced ginseng green tea into his morning routine. Within a few weeks, Robert noticed that he was able to stay upright and active until dinner time. He felt more awake and his legs felt more responsive. This is because ginseng also helps improve the communication between your brain and your muscles. When your brain can send signals more clearly, your balance improves and your risk of falling goes down. When you prepare this tea, you want to be careful not to use boiling water. Boiling water can burn the delicate leaves of the green tea and make it taste bitter. Instead, let the water sit for a minute after it boils before pouring it over your tea. Let it steep for about 3 to 5 minutes to make sure all those healthy compounds are released. If you are using fresh ginseng root, you can let that steep even longer. Some people like to add a bit of honey for sweetness. Honey is a much better choice than white sugar because it contains its own enzymes and minerals that support health. The beauty of ginseng green tea is that it supports both the body and the mind. It gives you the physical stamina to walk further and the mental clarity to stay safe while you are doing it. Many falls happen because of a momentary lapse in concentration or a feeling of lightheadedness. By supporting your energy levels throughout the day, you are creating a safety net for yourself. This is not about a temporary boost. It is about building a foundation of vitality that allows you to enjoy your life on your own terms. Consistency is everything. Drinking 1 cup of tea will not change your life, but making it a daily ritual will yield results that you can feel in every step you take. The third tea we must discuss is one that addresses a hidden cause of muscle weakness that many people never consider. This cause is chronic stress and poor sleep. It might seem strange to talk about stress when we are discussing leg strength, but the connection is very real. When you are stressed or when you are not sleeping well, your body produces a hormone called cortisol. In small amounts, cortisol is helpful, but when it stays high for a long time, it becomes a destructive force. High cortisol actually tells your body to break down muscle tissue to create energy. For a senior who is already struggling with sarcopenia, high cortisol is like pouring gasoline on a fire. It eats away at your leg muscles while you are awake and prevents them from repairing while you are asleep. This is where ashwagandha root tea becomes a lifesaver. Ashwagandha is an ancient herb from India that has been used for over 3,000 years to restore strength and vitality. Like ginseng, it is an adaptogen, but it has a much more grounding and calming effect. It is specifically famous for its ability to lower cortisol levels. By bringing your stress hormones back into balance, ashwagandha stops the unnecessary breakdown of your muscles. It creates a calm internal environment where your body can finally start to rebuild the strength you have lost. I once worked with a woman named Mary who was constantly worried about her health. This worry kept her up at night, and she found that her legs were becoming increasingly shaky and weak. She felt like she was losing her grip on her life. We started her on a nightly cup of ashwagandha tea. After a month, Mary told me that she was sleeping deeply for the first time in years. Because she was finally getting restorative sleep, her muscles had the time they needed to repair themselves. She woke up feeling stronger and her legs felt much more stable. The shakiness that had plagued her for months began to fade away. Sleep is the time when your body does its most important work. During deep sleep, your brain releases growth hormones that are essential for maintaining muscle and bone density. If you are tossing and turning all night, you are missing out on the most powerful anti-aging medicine in existence. Ashwagandha helps quiet the racing thoughts that keep you awake and relaxes the nervous system so you can drift into that deep, healing sleep. It also has a direct effect on neuromuscular coordination. This means it helps your nerves and your muscles work together in harmony, which is the key to perfect balance. Preparation of ashwagandha tea is a bit different because the root is very tough. If you have the dried root pieces, you should simmer them in water for at least 15 minutes. The taste is quite earthy, and some people say it reminds them of the scent of a horse, which is actually where its name comes from in the ancient Sanskrit language. If the flavor is too strong for you, you can add a bit of cinnamon or nutmeg. These spices not only improve the taste, but also have their own benefits for blood sugar and circulation. Some people prefer to mix ashwagandha powder into warm milk, which creates a soothing bedtime drink that has been used for centuries to promote longevity. It is important to remember that ashwagandha is not a sedative. It will not make you feel drugged or groggy in the morning. Instead, it helps your body return to its natural state of balance. When you are balanced, you have energy during the day and you have deep rest at night. This rhythm is essential for keeping your legs strong as you age. When your nervous system is calm, your muscles are not constantly tense and wasting energy. You move with more ease, and your balance becomes a natural part of your movement again, rather than something you have to constantly worry about. As we look at these 3 teas, we can see a complete system for protecting your health as you age. The ginger and turmeric tea handles the physical barriers of inflammation and poor circulation. The ginseng green tea provides the cellular energy and mental focus you need to stay active. And the ashwagandha tea manages the hormonal and nervous system factors that allow for repair and stability. None of these are intended to replace the advice of your doctor, but they are powerful allies that work alongside modern medicine to help you achieve the best possible quality of life. However, I must emphasize that the secret to success with any natural remedy is patience and consistency. We live in a world that wants a quick fix for everything. We want a pill that makes the pain go away in 20 minutes. But the weakness in your legs did not happen overnight. It was the result of years of gradual changes in your body. In the same way, rebuilding your strength is a journey that takes time. You should commit to these habits for at least 30 to 60 days before you decide if they are working for you. The changes will be subtle at first. You might notice that you are not quite as stiff when you get out of bed, or you might realize that you made it through the grocery store without needing to lean on the cart as much. These small victories are signs that your body is responding. It is also vital to talk about safety. While these teas are generally very safe for most people, they can interact with certain medications. For example, ginger and ginseng can sometimes thin the blood. So if you are on blood-thinning medication, you should definitely check with your doctor before drinking them in large amounts. Ashwagandha can affect thyroid levels, so that is something to be aware of if you have a thyroid condition. Always be honest with your healthcare provider about the herbs and supplements you are using. A good doctor will welcome your desire to take an active role in your health through natural means. Beyond the teas, I want to encourage you to keep moving. The teas provide the internal support, but your muscles still need the external stimulus of movement to stay strong. You do not need to run a marathon. Simple exercises like standing on one leg while you brush your teeth or taking a short walk after your tea can make a world of difference. Think of the tea as the high-quality fuel and exercise as the movement that keeps the engine from rusting. When you combine the two, you become nearly unstoppable. I have seen many people in their 80s and even 90s who have more energy and better balance than people 20 years younger. The difference is almost always found in their daily rituals. They choose foods and drinks that nourish them. They stay curious and active. They do not accept the idea that they are broken just because they have lived a long time. Your age is simply a number. It is a record of how many times you have traveled around the sun. It does not have to be a record of decline. By choosing these natural teas, you are making a statement that you value your health and your independence. In conclusion, please remember that you have more power over your aging process than you might think. Your body is constantly listening to the signals you send it. When you drink a cup of ginger and turmeric tea, you are sending a signal that says, "I want my blood to flow and my joints to be supple." When you enjoy a cup of ginseng green tea, you are saying, "I want my cells to be full of energy and my mind to be sharp." And when you finish your day with ashwagandha, you are saying, "I want my body to rest deeply and my muscles to be strong." These are the building blocks of a vibrant life. The road to stronger legs and better balance starts with a single step, or in this case, a single cup. Do not feel like you have to do everything at once. Maybe start by replacing your second cup of coffee with a cup of green tea. Or try the ginger and turmeric blend in the afternoon when you usually feel that dip in energy. Find a way to make these teas a part of your life that you actually enjoy. Use your favorite mug. Sit in your favorite chair. Make it a time of peace and reflection. This mental shift is just as important as the herbs themselves. We have covered a lot of ground today, from the science of sarcopenia to the ancient wisdom of adaptogens. My hope is that you feel empowered and inspired. You do not have to settle for weak legs or a fearful walk. You have the tools to reclaim your mobility and your confidence. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend who might be struggling with their balance. Your support helps us reach more seniors who need this life-changing information. Thank you for spending this time with me today. It is an honor to be part of your health journey. Remember that every day is a new opportunity to choose strength over weakness and hope over fear. Your legs are the foundation of your freedom. Take care of them and they will take you wherever you want to go. Whether it is walking through a park or playing with your great-grandchildren, your life is meant to be lived to the fullest. Drink your tea, stay active, and never stop believing in the incredible power of your body to heal and grow. This is Dr. Robert from Seniors Healthy Living, wishing you strength, balance, and a beautiful day ahead.